those who are new to you and your work, where would you recommend that they start getting familiar with your writings?
Well, that's a tough one because my favorite book is the one I'm writing now. It always is. But I think, in light of our discussion today, I'd probably recommend Hearers and Doers, because it is a book about how doctrine is useful for forming disciples. And it's a later book. It's one I wrote just a few years ago. And so it draws and refers to other themes that I've been working on over the years. I won't call it a summa. It's too small for that. But it does kind of summarize some of the leading themes, like maybe even a kind of a best hits kind of book.
As people though become familiar, one more of a personal question: when you finish, whatever that is, whenever God says you're done, what do you hope to have accomplished, or God has accomplished through your work?
Yeah, excellent question, and one that I think about more often now than I did 30 years ago. But I think the idea that I will have passed on to another generation an enthusiasm for theology, a vision for how it should be done, and a desire for that generation to affect the next generation in a similar way. So it's, I put a lot of effort into books, but really the point of that is to form people. It's not just to have a trophy case of volumes. That would be an empty victory if they weren't affecting people. So again, I've been very privileged to be in a place where I do have great students from all over the world. And, I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Well, I want to thank you. I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I know that we're just scratching the surface of many of the different themes that you've written on over the years. I do recommend it to many different people, whether it's the Drama of Doctrine, Hearers and Doers, Is There Meaning in This Text? I mean, just so many of the books that you've written are so insightful, and you think differently than most do. But I think your voice is one that is needed in the church today, simply because our culture is shifting over and over and over again. And it's more important than ever to understand the application, or understand how to use the Word of God, to understand our place in it. That story, I love how you said it, that social imaginary, or that biblical imaginary as it is. But I want to thank you for coming on Apollos Watered.
Thanks for the conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it, Travis.